The Expand Pedal Power Battery Kit is the ultimate solution for gigging musicians who rely on pedals to shape their sound, giving you drop-and-go rechargeable power that's always clean, quiet, and reliable.
I imagine that's Dave's.
That's Dave's rig right here.
The little Fender combo.
He's using, this is a twin reissue, blackface reissue, and Dave comes into the Mr. Echo.
All right.
The Sib Mr. Echo. Then he goes into TC Electronics flashback into a good old carbon copy.
And now are these just for vocals?
No, these are for
guitar
effects.
Okay.
And so a lot of it, and then they loop in and out of each other, and he manipulates the whole thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, so he's doing that on stage rather than having to crouch down. Okay.
This is all the space. This is like the space rock stuff here, and you will hear it later.
I can't wait.
That's
what I'm here for.
Pretty freaking nuts.
Speaking of pedals, let's talk about your pedal board.
My pedal board's right here.
All right, Phil. It's my favorite time. Let's hear it.
The pedal time?
Yeah, but first let's just hear amp.
All right, so this is the amp straight up.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll sound, classic rock, you know.
Nothing wrong with that.
Right, and then you got the other.
All right, first question I'm going to have for you. Dopes to Infinity. What were you using here in the pedals?
On pedal-wise, that's on the C guitar. Pedal-wise, I'm using this.
Really?
That's Analog Man Silver Modded Tube Screamer.
Oh, okay.
Mike is one of my favorite, always been my favorite.
Yeah, he makes great stuff.
Been my favorite in the pedal game. I met Mike before the internet. He was handing out a flyer at a New York guitar show, like, I can mod your tube. You know, it was right when Tube Screamers were being reissued. I could put it, you know, and I was like, all right, great, you know, and we've been friends ever since. And Mike has given me a lot of help over the years with pedals. And back then, he was like before everybody. He was doing
he was the dude.
You know, it was him. The other guy I don't think who gets enough respect in the whole boutique pedal game is Jack from Prescription Electronics.
Okay.
We use the his yard box a lot in the studio. I always had one of those on my board for years, and those two guys really early on when I joined Magnet back in 2008, they really helped me out a lot, kind of get my sound going in those days, and I always give them a lot of credit and a lot of respect for being in it and starting a whole wave that we see now.
Yeah, everyone's doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Mike is just fantastic.
Cool.
You know, so.
Well, let's hear that pedal. I know that you can't play it with the.
I just always like Tube Screamers. To me, they don't really do all that much, but they kind of suck everything in a little bit for me when I want it, when I go to leads.
Yeah.
If I want to tighten up my rhythms, if I want it like sloshier, I stay off of it. If I want to tighten things up, like it doesn't do that much of a volume boost, you know?
No, it's more like just an emphasis. Like,
just
slight.
Yeah. And another thing is, like, I'm the kind of guy, like, you see all these copies of Tube Screamers. It's a Tube Screamer that does more of this. It's a Tube Screamer. I've tried all those. Yeah. And it's like, I always go back to the Tube Screamer. But then again, Maxon did this, which I love. Always love the Maxon pedals because, you know, it's hand in hand with Ibanez back then. They made all this stuff. The ST9 Pro. So this is like kind of like what it I don't know exactly what the hell it does because I'm brain dead, but
that one brings a little more to the table.
A little more to the table.
In
so
terms
it has more gain. It has more gain. It has, you can adjust the tone and you can adjust the mids. I always crank mids on guitar. I find that's the happy place.
Well, that's
for
where the guitar should live.
Yeah, yeah.
Or typically.
So this will be my lead boost. You know, if I have this going. You know what I mean? It'll just, I always explain it, and Kevin Ballenbach from Godlike is a good friend of mine. It just adds a density that I look for, or that weight. You know, use it a lot in the studio. Always
Density is a good word for that.
Yeah, that
it's
density
perfect.
And then the other one that Mike hit me to is this Bad Bob boost. Like, I just fell in love with it, that even off.
How do you pick between those three tones? I mean, like, how do you know when you're going to play one versus the other?
I normally don't
They're
have.
cooking.
I normally don't have that much stuff, and honestly, for me, this is fun.
Yeah.
You
Like,
know, if
guitars playing's fun? You're supposed to have
yeah,
fun?
we're just like, you know, hey, you know what? I feel like using this on this song tonight.
Cool.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't get too locked into anything. I'm always swapping stuff out. And the other gem here that I just picked up from George, and you know, you guys should know about this, is it's his new Super Boost. This fucking thing.
Wow.
That's not bad.
I mean,
George Metropolis knows what he's doing. You know,
you find your way to find all these guys that know what you're doing.
And so,
Making friends with the right people.
yeah. So the way he explained it to me, you know, he does he makes the Metroplex and the Superplex with the added boost stage, and this is kind of like taking that and having the boost on your board, which is kind
handy.
of cool. So you can set this thing up just to give your amp a little bit more,
Yeah.
take a little bit away, give it a little bit more, you know, bottom, a little bit more mid-emphasis, whatever you want. It's like an extension of the Marshall.
Gotcha.
Which I like. And you know, what I love about George's stuff, all of his amps really retain that big amp thing and the heart of a Marshall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He never really got a, you know, there's so many people went to that smaller this.
Lunchbox thing.
Yeah, and he stayed.
He's like, I don't do that.
Flint, Michigan, dude. Come on, man. Bigger the better. But that thing just sounds great to me.
Now, are these, okay, I guess you kind of...
Then I gang pedals a lot, you know?
Yeah. I think the last combination was the one.
That's it. Right, and then we have over here, I love the kicked back wah thing. And that's where,
Bronson style?
yep, the Daredevil atomic cock. What's great about this pedal, what's great about this one, is it has the blend knob, so. So, I actually talked to Johnny about making it in a smaller format.
Oh, even smaller than that?
No.
Oh, because the original one was big.
Bigger, yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
version 2.
This is great for the board. You know, I use that for leads just to cut through some stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, just to cut through. So when Dave's got that thing on, we need something that's going to cut through that. That's like the fog of war right there. And then
I love that.
Fuzz pedal wise, I'm always swapping my fuzzes on tour, but the last couple of shows I've been using this. Once again, Mike's Sunbender. Mark IV Sunbender. Then this I've been using, the Logan Square Destroyer. It's more of a silicone-based fuzz.
Yeah, I was gonna ask what kind of like, where do you fall yourself? Are you like silicone, germanium?
I go back and forth.
Yeah.
I'm like whatever I feel like using that day.
Yeah.
And I like this one a lot. David Main from Damn, Differential Audio Manifestations in the UK. Dave's a big fan of ours, and his pedals are just phenomenal. And the Super B is more like a tone bender with a little more low end.
Okay.
And sometimes I feel like when I switch to this, when I go back and forth to this one, it's got the tone knob on it, so
Do you ever mess with fuzz faces much? You get, into those?
I have
tone benders.
I'm a tone bender. I
Okay.
like the tone benders the best.
Yeah.
And then I do, my favorite thing is this. To get that Stooges vibe.
Yeah.
It's fuzz before the wah. That's an older Jeffrey Teese Wizard wah, which is ever since I plugged that wah in, they've been
That's
my
the
wah.
one, huh?
Yeah, I like it. It has enough throw. It has a little bit more growl to it. I love that. And then I go in, so everything will go into the Mr. Echo,
Okay.
which is an amazing.
Planets, baby.
So we could do some of that. So I use the Mr. Echo like Dave uses for more of the crazy stuff.
Yeah.
The SIB stuff is great. So you have the volume out, you got the mix, repeats, and the slam button, which just, you hit that, it kind of simulates banging the arm on an Echoplex.
Okay.
And then it goes into complete oscillation.
Yeah.
Then the other one, this has been tried, I've been on my board for a very long time. The 8080, it's just like a classic. Sounding.
Yeah, it sounds so good.
And then...
Yeah, that's the only pedal I'm not really familiar with. The Spring Chicken.
Yeah, Reverb.
I've heard that song before.
Yeah, so, and that's that. And then over here, I swapped these two out quite a bit. Once I got this from George, this was on the board. This is the King of Tone. I'm sure you guys know about that.
Oh, God, yeah.
What Mike did with this pedal, I don't know what he did, but it's a classic. You guys know what this is. I had Mike sign it a while ago,
That's
and
cool.
I love it. And that's really the rundown on the pedals.
Man, killer. And is that, I guess the fuzz is kind of what people hear when it's, whether it's Dopes to Infinity or anything off like Spine of God or Spine to God?
I go
like that
I go for the fuzz.
Okay.
And then the other thing.
Space Lord and shit like that.
Yeah, and then I do a lot of this stuff. And then my last thing I'll tell you is like the one thing that I think a lot of guitar players forget about, the most important effect you have at your axis at any time is this thing. It's called the volume knob.
A lot of people don't use it.
No, they don't use it anymore. Back in the day, they used to use it.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I'll keep all my stuff on and I'll kick this back.
You'll be living like 6 or 7.
Yeah, and then I'll just crank it up for leads.
Yeah.
You know, and it's great. That thing is loud.
Yeah, there's a drone flying around here, folks.
Whoa.
Did anyone order Amazon?
Yeah, and so, yeah, I use my volume knob quite a bit.
Cool.